Hey there, fellow YouTube enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a story that's got the political world buzzing. Donald Trump's threat to revive a controversial $1.8 billion compensation fund. Now, this isn't just any ordinary fund. It's a real head-scratcher with some serious implications. So, let's break it down and see what's really going on here. First things first, the fund in question is the so-called Anti-Weaponization Fund. Now, at first glance, you might think, what's the big deal? Well, let me tell you, this fund was initially proposed to settle a lawsuit by Trump against the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, over the leak of his tax returns. The idea was to allow Trump allies to claim compensation for what they claimed were politically motivated prosecutions by previous administrations. But here's the catch, it was widely criticized and for good reason. You see, the plan raised red flags among Democrats and some Republicans. Why? Because it could have resulted in payments to people who were prosecuted over the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6, 2021, including those convicted of assaulting police officers. Now, that's a real doozy of a situation, and it's not hard to see why people were upset. Personally, I think this fund was a recipe for disaster, and I'm not alone in that opinion. Many saw it as a way to reward those who had committed serious crimes, and that's just not right. Now, fast forward to the present, and we find ourselves in a Senate standoff. Two Republican senators, John Cornyn and Thom Tillis, are holding out on confirming Trump's pick for Attorney General, Todd Blanche. The reason? They're not happy about the status of the Anti-Weaponization Fund. You see, these senators want Blanche to commit in writing that the Justice Department won't resurrect the fund later on. But here's the twist, the Trump administration hasn't made such a commitment, and that's causing a real headache. Now, let's talk about the implications of this. If these senators don't approve Blanche's nomination, Trump has threatened to get it done by reviving the fund. In his words, it will immediately be back on the table. But here's the thing, even as lame duck lawmakers, Cornyn and Tillis have emerged as thorns in Trump's side. They've stood their ground, and that's earned them some serious respect. After all, they're not just going to roll over and play dead, are they? Now, let's take a step back and think about this. What does it really suggest? Well, in my opinion, it shows that Trump is still very much in the game. He's not going down without a fight, and he's willing to use any means necessary to get his way. But here's the thing, even as he threatens to revive the fund, he also acknowledges that it's dead. So, what does that tell us? It tells me that Trump is playing a game of chess, and he's not afraid to change tactics if he needs to. But is that a good thing? Well, that's a question for another day. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. What does this fund really suggest about the state of American politics? Well, in my opinion, it shows that we're in a time of great division and uncertainty. It's a time when the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and it's not always easy to see who's telling the truth. But here's the thing, even in the face of all this chaos, there are still people who stand up for what's right. And that's something to be grateful for. So, what's my takeaway from all this? Well, in my opinion, it's a reminder that we need to be vigilant and stay informed. We need to be aware of the issues that matter, and we need to be willing to stand up for what's right. Because in the end, that's what it's all about, doing what's right, even when it's not easy. And that, my friends, is the real story behind this controversial fund. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching.